Hi guys, this is Gerard Shiftinglands, and yes, we are back. We are back after a holiday break, a summer break, way too long. But the good news is we are back, and let's start off with a kind of short showcase video, because last time, one of the last videos we did was making a basic shape out of a block of foam, which ended up being something like this. And then we sent out a poll to you guys asking, okay, so this is a basic shape of a house. How do we proceed? What do you want to see? Do you want to see a medieval house or fantasy house, Western, sci-fi, etc. Long story short, 60% said, well, do a fantasy house. So you want a fantasy house, you get a fantasy house. This is the showcase video. I already built it, but in the next video I will show you in bigger steps how I actually transform this block into the fantasy house. Now let's give it a look. There it is. Now, maybe not that exciting, not sure, but you said make a fantasy house, so I just did what I like to do best. No, I just done something with it, and as you can see as I turn it. Now, with a fantasy house, everyone paint his or her own picture in their heads when it comes to a fantasy house, about maybe the shape, the materials that are being used, and I do the same thing. Which means that for me, a fantasy house, building a lot of Minas Tirith buildings, I immediately think of, okay, has to be a stone house. Okay, fantasy for me could be Gothic or Roman, doors, windows, etc. Has to be exciting in a way that I have to add something on. So in the end I added this little dormer window and of course this chimney. And I like the walkway underneath the house. Now everything is removable, so it's playable. And yeah, so actually I'm very pleased with the end result. However, there were also people who actually said, well, I want to see a sci-fi house, and while building this, I already thought, how cool would it be to do it again, and but now transform it in something else. So the same shape, different house. So let's put this one aside, move this one aside, and with the same shape, we build the sheriff's office. You can see it's the same shape. Sure, it has some different features. Well, let's go over it. First of all, if I think about Wild West, I think about wooden structure. However, I like the whole idea of combining bricks with wood paneling, falling back, rectangle windows, obviously, rectangle doors, as you can see, and the little sheriff's office sign I like very much. Where in the fantasy version we have a flagstone stairway, we here have a wooden stairway. And by the way, I also will do another video very soon about how to make these wooden panels and tell you a little bit more about the wooden stairway. I didn't add extra features on this project. Could have done. Actually, a chimney would be a good thing, I guess. But in the end, I wanted to keep it simple. And once again, as you can see, it all opens, so it's all playable from the inside. Oh yeah, one of the things that really differs from the first, as you can see, is here we have a balcony, and you can walk underneath. Here it's more like I made it a roof that goes slightly angled downwards, and it's really part of the house. But that's the main difference when it comes to the shape. That's great. So, and well, I had a lot of fun building this one. So I thought, well, let's do another one. Let's do a sci-fi one. And okay, so I did. So again, we have the same structure, the same layout, but now we have a sci-fi one. And if I think about sci-fi, or, well, yeah, if I think about sci-fi, I think also about, a bunker. My son is playing 40K quite a lot, so I think, well, he would fancy a bunker on his gaming table, I guess. And if you think about a bunker, it is concrete, so I use one of my little structure cylinders to get this specific texture. So everything is more or less smooth with a slight grain on the surface, but that's it. It's all very, very smooth and slick, and it has to look very robust. So we try and add some extra wall elements to give it a more robust look. And since it is a bunker, I can imagine all kinds of machinery, ventilation things, tubes, steel doors, etc., etc. So it was a lot of fun. I did use, as you can see, some small resin pieces laying around, but in the end I'm very pleased with this project as well. So there you have it. Actually it started off with a basic block, and you told me I had to make a fantasy building, which I did, but then it hit me, or I got the I went into this kind of flow and I wanted to do more. And actually I have a short list of possibly extending this series, because fantasy, Wild West, sci-fi, ruin, what was there? There was something else. You know.
Jungle overgrown, more
jungle, yeah, more organic. Oh yeah, and oriental, like more Chinese. So, and maybe there are more, I don't know. But if you like this little video about these different styles of the same shape, and you have ideas of expanding this series, yeah, please send a message or write something underneath the video, and I absolutely want to do more of these. So this is it. The video about this one will be released shortly, and I will explain something in another video about the whole stone and wood things I've done in this build. Thanks for watching, and I see you in the next video. Bye bye.